They are today's the ultimate supergroup, collecting the best rock musicians in the world. They came from the biggest names in rock music industry: Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Whitesnake, Thin Lizzy, Ozzy Osbourne, and Mink. The lineup is David Lowie, Marco Mendoza, John Corabi, Richard Fordus, Dizzy Reed, and Brian Tichy. They are the Dead Daisies. We have here one of the world's best rock vocalists, ex-Motley Crue and Rat, John Corabi. Mr. John Corabi, thank you very much for coming and welcome to the Friday Rock Show. So after the first few days here, are you having fun?
Yes. Yeah. I'm having a great time meeting everybody, and it's my first trip, so everybody's been very cool, and I'm very excited to do the shows.
And how did you guys get together?
Well, the band was actually started by David Lowie and a gentleman named John Stevens, who used to sing with In Excess. And they put the band together. They did a record and an EP, and they called me in February. Apparently John was going through some things and he couldn't leave the country, Australia, to go to Cuba and do a record. So they gave me a call, and I checked out their music on YouTube, and I thought it was great. So I joined the band in probably February, and it's been a whirlwind ever since. We've been to Europe twice. We've been to Australia twice, Cuba. Now we're here in Israel. And after Israel, we take a little break and get some sleep.
You probably should.
Yes, it's been crazy because I do this, and then I have a solo band at home in America. So I've been going back and forth. When this isn't working, I work with my band and vice versa. So it's been a very good year for work. But I'm very tired now. I'm ready to go home.
Well, you need some rest.
Yes.
Here in Israel, you will have a very good relaxation. Trust me.
Yeah, I think we're going to, we have a couple days to do a little sightseeing. So I think we're going to go to the Dead Sea, and then we're going to go to Jerusalem, and is it Masada? Yeah, the Masada. So, we're going to check out some things.
Your new album, Revolution, was majorly inspired by your musical journey in Cuba. How did you guys came up with the idea to go to Cuba in the first place?
Well, that was one of the reasons why I came into the band. John couldn't go. So they had been working on going to Cuba for about a year. They knew that our President Obama was going to lift the sanctions on Cuba, so they wanted to be one of the first bands to get in there. So the record, the music on the record isn't really, we did a couple of songs in Cuba. The rest of it we did in Sydney, Australia. So the music wasn't really inspired, but the artwork, when we were looking for a name for the record, we were looking at also photos, because we did besides the record, we did a coffee table book and a documentary. And we kept seeing everywhere, Viva la Revolution, and everything. So we just said, let's call the record Revolution.
Nice.
So the artwork we had done by a gentleman in Cuba. So it was cool. It all came together very quickly.
And how did Cuba influence your songwriting process for the album?
Not really. We didn't really think about it much. I mean, we went into a studio in Sydney after Cuba, and we just sat with acoustic guitars, and we just kind of threw ideas on the table, and the ones that everybody gravitated towards is the ones that we worked on. And we actually we recorded for about a month. We recorded the record in about a month, and I think we came up with 17 song ideas. But like I said earlier, the music wasn't really inspired by Cuba, but the artwork and everything, the title for the record was.
And before you were joining the band, did you know the other guys personally?
I knew everybody except for David and Richard. I knew of Richard, but I had never met him personally. But the band's great. Everybody's very, very funny, practical jokers, but extremely talented as well. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been very, very cool being in this band. So.
Well, that's the main thing.
Yes, it is. If you don't enjoy doing what you're doing, go home. You know what I mean?
Currently, I don't want to go home.
No. If you don't enjoy your job, If you don't enjoy your work, then get out and find something that you enjoy doing.
I know what you're talking about. I also quit my job in order to do something else.
And here he is now.
Surprise! And when you started playing music, what was the first tune you learned?
God, probably, I would have to say Hey Jude by the Beatles. I just sit on guitar. I took guitar lessons, a few, when I was very young. And I was a big Beatles fan, so that was the first song my guitar teacher taught me, which I was very pleased with. And then it was just Beatles, 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 and then I started getting later into Zeppelin and Aerosmith and all the heavier stuff, but probably Hey Jude by the Beatles.
You know, it's amazing how Hey Jude influenced so many artists.
Yes, the Beatles did. I mean, they're probably one of, if not the greatest band to ever play music. You know what I mean? So it's for me anyway.
And that leads me to my next one. If there was someone you could perform with, dead or alive, who would it be?
If I was to put my own band together?
Yeah.
Okay, if I was to put my own band together, I would be the singer, and I would have Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin on guitar, Paul McCartney from the Beatles on bass. I would have, bass. I would have Steven Tyler play keyboards and sing backing vocals with me, Paul McCartney. I would have John Bonham on drums, and that would be it. Jimmy Page, me, John Bonham, Paul McCartney, and Steven Tyler. That would be a super group.
Absolutely. That will be the ultimate supergroup.
Yes. And I'm sure I'd be the lowest guy on the totem pole, so I would have to get them coffee and stuff in the morning, or whatever.
But the Dead Daisies are currently the ultimate supergroup, isn't it?
Well, I don't like using the term supergroup. You know what it is for me and for the rest of the guys? We're just all friends, and we're, 5 or 6 guys that know each other, we respect each other, and we're friends with each other. And this opportunity came for us to jam together and write music and do a tour, so we took it. You know what I mean? We don't look at ourselves as like a super group. We're just a bunch of friends playing music, so it's cool.
And we can definitely sense it.
Well, that's the cool thing about it. I mean, we're having fun. We're getting to travel all over the world, but at the end of the day, the band is a great band, and the music's great. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It's what we call in America a double-edged sword. It's a great. Thank you. It's a great band. And we have fun. So, and this portion of the show is being brought to you by Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, being the main sponsor for the Dead Daisies.
And last but not least, besides making music, what else do you like to do?
You know what, as busy as I've been, when I go home, I just relax. I mean, I play guitar and stuff like that, but I like going to, I like to just go to some pubs and bars with my wife and hang with my friends, and we watch American football and just eat bad food and drink and just chill. It's, just relax. So that's what I'm looking forward to when I get home. So,
okay, cool.
All right.
So, John, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Enjoy your staying in Israel. And see you this Thursday, the Zappa Club in Jerusalem, and this Saturday, the Barbie Club, Tel Aviv.
See you there.